croissant.
Croissant? I'm not going to say croissant. You want me to say croissant? Croissant.
Croissant. Okay. Croissant is fucking insane. Nobody's listening, right? Hi, Andy.
Hello.
I am so excited. I am genuinely so excited to talk with you for an hour as though no one's listening. But first of all, is anyone out there listening?
Yeah, this is from Vonnie J. New listener, now always listening. Love to hear that.
Love it.
5 stars as well. Don't forget those 5 stars.
We need all 5 of them.
I was hooked from the first episode I listened to about a month ago, and now I've been binging from the beginning and also binging Nobody's News. Appreciate that. I'm already sad for the day I get caught up and have to wait for new episodes. Thanks to Monica for the recommendation. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. God omnipotent reigneth. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's so crazy that they put that all on a button. Oh, God, today's going to be fun. I can tell we're off the rails.
I hope. Oh, don't say that. That just gave me the ick that you said we were off the rails.
Oh, I have lots of ick to give you today. To Vonnie J, if you want to listen to thousands of hours of these two yahoos, you can do that at patreon.com/nobody's listening right.
Yeah. And we should say, you may notice now, Elizabeth figured out some cool shit on Patreon. Where now in our just normal feed, where you're listening to this on Spotify, you might see some bonus episodes on Spotify. Those are the Patreon episodes.
Yeah.
And you can unlock it with your Patreon right there in Spotify.
Very
So that's
cool.
a cool thing to do, too, if you want.
Yeah. Okay. I'm dragon ass today. So I thought maybe dragon ass. You don't hear a lot of dragon ass these days. Is that giving you the ick?
Yeah, that gave me the ick when you said dragon ass.
Okay, there's another thing I want to bring back, full throttle.
Yeah.
Does full throttle give you the ick?
No, and let me tell you this, nothing is feeling full throttle about me right now with you.
I really want to bring back, go make some fudge.
What does that mean?
Go take a dump.
It does?
So.
All right, you're doing something else. This is, I guess, the perfect time to bring up. What's going on with you and the laughing cat smiley face emoji? It's, you like just introduced it and I've noticed it. Did you pick that up from somebody else or something? What's going on?
That I'm using it in text?
Yeah, you're using it in text now. Instead of the human face laughing, you use the cat face laughing. And don't look at me like this because that's a deliberate choice.
No, it's the first thing I see when I go to pick an emoji. You know, it sets aside the ones that you use the most often.
Yeah.
If I'm just looking for a laughing thing, there it is. And I must have used it somewhere along the way. And I guess it's now become my go-to.
I don't know. I feel like there's more of a story to this. You didn't pick it up from somebody and go, I want to do that.
No. Sometimes it's nice to change it up.
Now, I can't search your phone right now because...
By the way, you use prayer hands all wrong.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I use them for thank you.
Uh-huh.
And that's an awesome way to use them.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
What's wrong with how I use prayer hands?
Sometimes you use it in a way that like just doesn't make sense. And it is like, God bless you, like kind of thank you. It has a spiritual element to it.
It's like a big thanks. It's like, fuck, thanks. That's what it is.
Okay.
And that's how I like to use it.
Okay.
I have a feeling about you, though, that somebody got you started on this cat
No one got me
crying face.
started. Who got me started?
I don't know.
I'm not like, I mean, I am easily swayed usually, but it's not like in emoji land. I will say.
Oh, what will you say?
I want to start using GIFs more.
Jesus Christ. What are you talking about? That's giving me the ick. You sound like a boomer today.
Okay.
You want to start using GIFs more?
Okay. We might have to stop this podcast. No, I am excited to do the reason I said I am excited is usually this podcast gives me energy.
Yeah.
and kind of puts a pep in my step. And I don't know what's going on, but I cannot. I've had so much coffee. I cannot like get my shit going today.
Does it feel physical or emotional?
Both. On my walk, the walk's like a bright part of my day. It's such a great way to start the day. And I love it. And it's one of the things that if I don't do, I genuinely miss it. It doesn't feel like a chore to me at all. It's like a treat.
Yeah.
And this morning here, I didn't make it through my walk.
What do you mean? You hit the eject button early?
I hit eject early. And I just wanted to get back to do what? I don't know.
Wait, how early did you hit it? How long is your normal walk?
An hour.
It's an hour.
Usually, 45 to an hour.
So when did you pull out this time?
Right before she was about to come. Okay.
No, but when did you? Jesus, what is going on?
Probably I aired on the side of like a 40-minute.
Okay.
40-minute-er. But I wanted to eject, and I was like, I'm not going to eject.
Can I check in with you since we're talking about your mood and whatnot about yesterday? I have a question.
Sure. Just be careful.
I am. Trust me, I realize I need to tread very lightly right now.
Okay.
I'm seeing all those indicators. Yesterday, you went to the eyeglasses man, and you came back.
I'll call optometrist.
Sure, or eyeglasses man.
Well, an eyeglasses man might be like an eyeglasses store. I went to the eye doctor.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'll give that to you.
Thank you.
The eye doctor. But you got back and you texted me, and even just by your text, I knew you were like in a fucking fantastic mood.
Really?
Yeah, and then you came
What did I say?
Great with an exclamation mark as a reply to something.
No cat face.
No cat face. It was just genuine to the point. But I just knew you were buzzing. And then you came into the studio maybe an hour later and you were lit up and you had this light about you. And I mentioned your light yesterday, didn't I?
You did.
Okay. You were just beaming this beautiful energy. It's intoxicating. But I wanted to ask you.
And then today you
No. This isn't about today.
Dark aura around you.
No, this is not about today.
Okay.
This is about later in the day. Then when I came inside for dinner, the light was gone.
Oh.
And did anything happen?
Just the vibes. I said that. I said the vibes in this house. It was the kids coming back, and just one kid in particular was having big feelings, and it was frustrating.
Yeah.
Because, okay, you yesterday were having a rougher day.
I was, yeah.
And emotionally and physically, I would say you felt kind of low. And I'm wondering if I fucking got that from you today.
Yeah.
But you really wanted to play Mahjong.
I did.
Now, this is a new thing for everyone who has listened to us for the past few weeks. I got for Mother's Day my fancy Mahjong set. I had the most incredible Mother's Day from tops to bots. It was a perfect day. Woke up. I got this very fancy French pastry place that I think you're going to talk about.
Oh, sure.
That I've been wanting. And you promised me a long time ago because I guessed something right on the podcast and you owed it to me. You know, neither here nor there, but it finally manifested on Mother's Day. And you got them. They were incredible. Got this beautiful Mahjong set. I taught everyone Mahjong. We played it multiple times. I do want to circle back to that because I have a fear related to Mahjong, but you've got the bug. Yeah.
Well, I've only played 4 games now. Is that right? 5 games, maybe?
5 or 6.
5 or 6. And so it's very hard.
You've won 2 of them.
And I've won 2 of them, but it's very hard for me. But I find I want to keep playing.
Yeah. Well, that you do. I see it in your eyes. You're hooked. And you said yesterday, I want to play Mahjong tonight. That's like the thing. So on the walk home from school, I told the kids,
and
guys, Daddy has had kind of a bad day.
Oh, interesting.
And he really
very interesting.
He really wants to play Mahjong.
Okay.
And this is where, listen, our kids are young and they're so much more emotionally evolved than I was at their ages by a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I shouldn't have said anything because I think when you're a 9-year-old, let's say, and you're like, oh, this adult needs me to support them emotionally.
Yeah.
What that immediately, then this kid was like not having it. It put them in a bad mood. And I understand that. It's not their duty to. I thought it was going to be more fun. Like, so we're going to play Mahjong tonight and, but know that that's happening.
Oh my God. I cannot believe that's how you went about it because, to be honest, we had a conversation before. I have a big concern that one of our kids, especially, gosh, I hope they listen to this 20 years from now, is going to sabotage my Mahjong playing because it is very fun with 4 people.
Yeah.
And we have a 4-person family. That is perfection, right?
We need to have a 4th.
We have 4 people.
I know. We need a backup.
But it seems like there might be one person in the family that's not as into it as the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little worried about it, probably more worried than I need to be.
Yes.
So I told Elizabeth I was in a bad mood yesterday. I felt sick the day before, and I was just in a low mood, maybe how you're feeling today. And I said to you, I do really want to play Mahjong. I feel like if I'm the one that tries to organize it, I'm going to come with the wrong vibe. Can you do it? Because you were so bouncy and light yesterday, but then just to find out that you went about it by using my bad vibes.
Yeah.
You should have just been like, we got to play Mahjong tonight. Like, isn't that going to be fun?
I do that not infrequently, though, where I'm like, guys, daddies.
Wait, you do that? Because I so rarely throw you under the bus like that.
I don't think of it as throwing you under the bus. I think of it as a, like, honestly sweet thing. Like, we're collectively all going to work together to make this a better situation for daddy.
Oh my gosh. I feel like if I wanted to, I could play that card so much more often than you get to play the card, right?
I'm not playing a card. You're acting like I'm saying, and it's something that I do for all of us. Like, we all work together as a unit to kind of, like, a rising tide lifts all boats or ships or whatever. So just know, I mean, frequently, so I pick the kids up and you're often working in the studio and maybe don't want them running in or blah, blah, blah. So I am saying, like, daddy's stressed out because he has to blah, blah, blah. So let's not all the time, but like but it makes, I mean, we're like a little team working together. And I want to teach them to be respectful.
Interesting. That's very interesting because there might be times.
Maybe it's bad.
I think it might be sort of bad, but maybe not. I think my gut is that it's bad because I don't do it to you. Because
I'm not doing it to you.
I know. I mean, I don't use you in that equation unless like you're really like need space or something. Then I'll be like, hey kids, mommy needs some time.
Well, yeah, I've seen you do that. I've heard you do that. So I'm not doing it every day or anything. It's every once in a while.
Interesting.
And yesterday was one of them. I wanted them to have preparation and wrap their heads around Mahjong is our future. But I think I should have kept it more light and fun. Like, so we're going to have dinner and then we're going to play Mahjong. Everyone's happy. But I think our kid was already having big feelings. And then I think that they have to,
hold daddy's feelings in their hands.
Hold space for daddy's feelings.
Hold space for daddy's feelings.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not good. I mean, last night, one of our kids did start crying when we said we're going to play another game of Mahjong. Like, we got to take it easy. But I'm scared.
But we've barely played. Okay, so what is the move then? What is the move? Because I can't be the one in charge of it. Because
I think let's just chill out about it. Let's make it a fun thing. I can teach you. We can play 3-player games. It's not as fun, but it exists.
But also, I don't want to do 3-player games. I'm also I'm like, this is good family time.
You know what? If this is like our problem and what we're worried about, life is pretty good. I'm just like, you don't need to stress out about it or get bummed out about it.
Right.
You know? And we can always invite someone. So anyway, but my issue right now is that a couple of weeks ago, I started playing the 2025 card that came out for Mahjong. And there's been this whole uproar about the card. It was misprinted. The National Mahjong League, who knows what the fuck is going on over there, what kind of issues they're having. But their eye is not on the ball. Anyway, I was a threat in Mahjong. I won the vast majority of games that I played. Maybe not vast, but the majority. I went to a Mahjong weekend where I won with one whole day less. Like, I was there 50% of the time, and I won the most games of everyone.
Cool.
The 2025 card, I have won barely any.
Really?
I went and played with St. Monica the other night.
Aww.
And her lovely friends. Didn't win. One of them was learning how to play.
That's tough stuff.
I won one game with our family so far. That's it. Our kids have each won one. You've won twice. What's happening to me?
Maybe you just got to get used to this new card. It seems hard to get you. I can't believe they change it every year. That seems crazy. You know what? It just dawned on me, though, while you're talking about it. I think there was this big scandal because there's a misprint. I think this might be like a sadder story happening.
Of addiction?
No, interesting, but no. I'm worried that it's more of like a sadder, like, Betty needs to go.
Yes.
She's gotten a little too old to be the one proofing the card, but gosh, she's done so much for us over the years, you know. But like, it's time, and she's making mistakes and she's slipping.
Yes.
And I think that's a hard thing where Betty has carried the torch for so long.
Yeah.
I think it might be that, and that's kind of sad.
Sure, but you have millions of people across the country
Counting on you.
So, okay. Tell me about Lou.
Oh, yeah. So this pastry croissant place is called Lou on the Block.
What did you just call it?
Croissant place. Pastry or croissant place.
Croissant?
Croissant. I'm not going to say croissant. You want me to say croissant? Croissant.
Croissant. Okay. Croissant is fucking insane.
Croissant. I'm fucking American, okay?
Yeah. No one says croissant.
I'll take a croissant.
A croissant. Yes.
That's what sounds right.
Croissant.
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 Okay. Go ahead.
Anywho, we learned about it from, was it a friend of one of our kids or something, maybe?
Yes. A play date brought 2 croissants over, and holy shit, they are so good.
So how did she hype them up to you?
She said, she's talked to me about it as though I should know it.
Okay.
She goes, oh, you know, you have to order a few days in advance. And I was like, what? And then it's in Burbank or somewhere, Studio City, and you order ahead of time. And so I had one bite of it, and I was like, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't had it since then. That was many, many months ago.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us.
Okay, so you had mentioned you got a pre-order thing. So I look it up. I get on the site and it says, yeah, you got to pre-order 48 hours beforehand, and then your pickup time will be this. I got a pickup time for 9 a.m. Sunday, Mother's Day. So I was like, perfect.
Wow.
That feels
Score.
great. I ordered a bunch of different things.
You did a great job ordering.
Thank you. And so
you got an almond croissant, chocolate, these little almond financiers.
That sounds right. Some tarts.
Oh, yeah, it was so good.
And then regular croissant.
Right.
Lots of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I get there, and on the way there, I'm thinking, shit, should I have like gone earlier? Like, is this going to be crazy? How dialed in are they going to have this? It is Mother's Day.
Right.
And so I park my car, and then I kind of see like a big sort of line, and I'm like, oh, that's got to be the place. But not big, that big, maybe like 10 people in line.
Okay.
So I start walking towards that. Nope, that's not it. That's a coffee shop.
Oh.
Totally different thing. So then I keep walking a little bit forward, and then I'm like, oh shit, this must be the place. There's a fucking line. It had to have been at least 100 people, if not more,
100?
down the block.
Oh no.
Just, I mean,
100?
insane. Oh yeah.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, holy fuck, what am I here for? But also, it's Mother's Day. This is going to be an experience. It might take me a lot longer to get these than I thought it would.
So all of those people had put orders in 2 days ahead of time?
So I don't know.
Okay.
So I got to figure that out.
Got it.
So, but it's packed everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like getting through the line, and I make the way to the end, and I get almost to the end, and I say, so are all of you in line? Have you pre-ordered? And then thank God one woman goes, no. Pre-order, you can get down there.
Thank God. Now, that was a risky move, and I know that you don't hesitate to ask those types of questions.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes those questions can be met with, yeah.
That's very true.
Get in fucking line. You're not entitled to some other special line.
Well, that's interesting.
Especially this place, because I didn't know you could not pre-order.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So then I start heading more back to the door of where the place is, and there's a little sign that says like pickup order stand here. But there's so many fucking people, that feels like a shit show.
Is the place nice? Like, what's the vibe?
It's just a tiny little storefront. It's on a cute street in Burbank.
Do you go inside it, or is it like windows along the store?
If you were in the big line, you would go inside it and you would step in, and that's about it. And you're looking at all the pastries, and and then you come out. So, but I never had to go in because I'm standing in this one spot for pickups. And then I'm asking, I think I might have cut like 2 people. So I feel weird about that. But I'm asking like, hey, are you here for the pickups? And
oh, you're asking all sorts of questions all over the place.
I don't want to make a faux pas here because this is a fucking place.
Operation.
This is a scene.
You don't want to get no souped for you'd here.
Not at all. So finally, I feel kind of good. I think I'm in the right spot. There's a guy next to me.
And how long is the line you're in?
It's not as much of a line. It's more of a kind of
smattering
in this area, but it's confusing because how many people are there. So I'm also thinking, when am I going to get to tell someone I'm in the line? And I asked the guy next to me, hey, did they take your name? And he said, yeah, there will be someone that comes out and they'll take like the next round of names.
Okay, so everyone's helping each other out.
Yes.
How to understand the system.
Yes.
Great.
But then it's where I start realizing, wow, something magical's happening at this place.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden I look over and there's this big black dude that's like, he looks so famous, okay? Like just so famous. So much so that I'm thinking, who is this guy? But when I say he's big,
famous.
When I say he's big, he's like,
is it like Shaquille O'Neal?
No, not that kind of big, but like maybe 6'4", 6'5", and but like very athletic build. But I saw my reflection in like the window, me standing next to this guy, and I was like, I did not realize I was that small of a man. Okay. But then I start hearing him talk, and he's French. I'm like, oh, and he's like really popular here. So I'm like, this is the guy. This must be Lou. This must be Lou's spot.
Wow. And when you say he looks so famous, he just has a quality about him, a confidence.
The clothes, so stylish.
Like what clothes?
He just had like a very cool t-shirt on, but everything just looked like really nice. And now that I'm thinking about it too, like maybe French cool. But also when I didn't realize who it was and was seeing all these people kind of coming up to him, I was like, who is this guy? He's famous. And I'm trying to picture him. And there was even this rapper that I remembered from like maybe like 2010s. That was this really cool indie rapper that I was like, is that guy? Because there's something, I was trying to place this guy.
Yeah.
It's not, it's Lou. Lou's got something going on here.
Wow.
Holy shit, what he's got going on.
How can we all be more like Lou?
No, you have no idea. So everybody knows him, right? Everybody clearly loves him. And I get to watch this huge line, right, of person after person kind of go in, and he's occasionally kind of coming out to see the crowd. But
so is he behind the counter?
Not so much, because he's
just
got
kind
all
of
of his people.
managing.
Yeah.
He's the face
Yes.
of the operation that he created.
But he's hugging like everybody.
Oh.
In this like huge line of people that didn't pre-order. Everybody knows him. Everybody's a regular, and everybody's getting hugs from this dude. That it's like he's created something so magical. They're only open 3 days a week, I believe. And
do you know where in France he's from?
I don't.
So this is interesting because there was this place in Pasadena that was a French place that had really good French pastries.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like that.
That place was good.
It closed.
Yes.
I feel like the owner wanted to be like Lou.
Whoa.
And I don't think he had that magical it factor.
Yeah.
That you need in the pastry game.
No, this guy, just the look alone, the vibe, carried himself in a way that was like, whoa, who is this super famous dude? He's the super famous like Baron of Croissant in Burbank.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Do you think you'll ever get a hug?
I think he would need to be a regular, right?
Okay.
And it's interesting because to be a regular there, they're not open every day, right?
Right.
So you have to be coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I mean, it's so French also. Like, you have to know when they're open, and you have to be cool if it's not open. And you can't expect, like, you're lucky to be there.
And what's crazy, too, is, like, the amount of love in the different walks of life. You had, like, crazy, like, biker dude that probably worked on Metallica records, right?
Yeah.
That's chilling, that when he leaves is going to, you know, give Lou a hug, right? And then you've got like super dorky finance bro guy getting a hug from Lou. Then you've got like, you know, middle-aged kind of mom, kind of dorky mom getting hugs. Like, it's just everybody.
Oh.
What? This guy came over here and like he's the king of that block.
That is awesome.
So can we be the king of a block if, like, say, we move to France?
We don't have wares.
And
like, what are we gonna do? You and I think you could fake it and you could really find your niche. If you had like a donut spot and, you know, invested a little more in your clothes. I think that you could get there.
I don't have the light. You had the light yesterday.
I did. I had the Lou light.
Like, if you had that light, you could pull this off.
Literally, yesterday I was just in a good mood. It wasn't even like, I mean, there was nothing spectacular or standout. But I want to really try to channel a little bit more of Lou. But
can it be channeled? Because it has to be real, right? Like, I know what you're saying about me. Like, I can kind of turn on when I want to be charming. It's pretty authentic.
It's very authentic. Can I read that thing that I took a picture of? Oh, it's a screenshot on my phone, so I don't know if I can access it. But I can. This astrologer on, I guess this is on Threads. I don't know how I got here. Don't ask. But her name is Katrin Kells. Katrinnkels. She's been doing, you have your sun, moon, rising sign. And she's been writing little blurbs for each combo. Yeah. So you can find your exact kind of footprint.
Yeah.
And yours, she wrote. So this is your sun, your rising sign, your sun, and your moon. You talk fast, love hard, and charm like it's second nature. You want independence and partnership, truth and diplomacy. You're curious about everything and everyone. You're here to keep things interesting and call people in without missing a beat. Now, the only word I would change in this is out. You call people out without missing a beat.
What do you mean? Oh, you call instead of calling them in? Yeah.
But this really summarizes you.
Interesting. Read yours.
She hasn't done it yet.
Oh, are you waiting? Like,
yes.
How soon do you think it's going to happen?
I don't know. There's a lot to get through. We wanted to give a huge thanks to this week's sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding.
I love Brooklyn Bedding.
Look, we all know how quickly our kids are growing out of their clothes, but not many people talking about when your kids grow out of their mattresses.
Oh.
The place they spend so much time. You know, the ones that you bought with their twin bed thinking they could basically sleep on a, hay pallet.
I hope you know them and remember them.
Well, that time arrived for us recently when our 11-year-old was having not great night sleeps, which of course leads to cranky days and less focus at school and when they're toiling away on the farm. Well, enter Brooklyn Bedding. We ordered her a plush, beautiful new mattress, which was a huge upgrade from the flimsy memory foam jobber we had in her twin bed for years. And the quality was shocking, especially because it did not break the bank. I kind of felt guilty when the mattress arrived. Did you see her? How she lit up and she was like, "Is this for me?"
Yeah.
My guilt that we'd not taken her mattress needs seriously was assuaged, knowing that now not only would she be sleeping much better, which she has been, she loves her mattress, but Brooklyn Bedding is free of fiberglass, which, as we all know, is harmful for your health. And unlike other mattress brands, they ensure their entire facility is free of fiberglass. So if you're like us and needing to upgrade your kids to take their sleep hygiene seriously, know that you can sleep on the Brooklyn Bedding mattress for up to 120 nights. And if you don't love it as much as we do, guess what? They will help you return it or pick out a different one. So go to brooklynbedding.com and use our promo code NLR at checkout to get 30% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. You have to use our code specifically.
NLR.
On the very last page of checkout to get this discount. That's brooklynbedding.com and use our code NLR for 30% off site-wide. brooklynbedding.com, promo code NLR.
How much time are you spending on astrology content? Because when I set up the podcast today, we record this on our phones, and you had, when I grabbed your phone, it was on an astrology podcast that you were listening to.
Yeah.
At 1.25 speed. I didn't know you were 1.25er, which I
You
thought's
just gotta
interesting.
get through it. It's more of the same shit.
And then I know a lot of times when we're in bed, you're on astrology because you're showing me dumb shit like that, while we're laying in bed. How much... you're real into this, huh?
Yeah, I am. And I like it. And I'm studying it now. I feel like I'm learning more. So it's kind of exciting to me. I understand stuff on a deeper level.
Yeah.
I did realize this morning, that given kind of our creative endeavors and stuff and life and finances and everything, I do need to keep writing. I do need to keep pursuing with gusto my writing career. Mm-hmm. And I am writing something right now, which I'm very excited.
Yeah, you are actually. You're legit. Yeah.
Yeah. But I need to get back into the routine of that. Yeah. And I have an idea I want to develop. Not only, I'm not saying it I have to, that's a half joke. I'm saying I'm feeling...
The astrology is sometimes pulling you away from other stuff you might should do.
Well, astrology and other stuff. Here's the thing is, it's been kind of a mental shift, and I needed a break from the development and the writing stuff because it had kind of
broken
me is the word. But I needed to be broken.
Yeah.
I really do. I feel like I'm in a better place because of it in many ways.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I can follow the next exciting thing creatively. And also, yes, I'm an adult and have responsibilities. So it needs to be creative and something that could be financially, additive.
Yeah.
So anything that you and I at this point in our life are doing that's creative, also pretty much, if we're spending a good amount of time, needs to be additive.
Making money, yeah.
Anyway, I'm having ideas again. I'm getting kind of my motivation back and excited about it. Inspiration, I guess. But astrology has been during this time a huge escape for me. Yeah. And more than just I'm so far beyond my daily horoscope. I actually don't read a daily horoscope at all. Because I'm so above it. No, I think it's great, but I'm really fascinated by the kind of deeper meaning behind all of it. And so I know it seems crazy. It's almost less about, I mean, there definitely is a part of it is like, what's coming down the pipeline for me?
Yeah.
And it's more about learning about this.
It's a fun, interesting thing to you. To me, the problem I have with it is it never seems, I think what you read is nice, and that maybe seems like a decent description of me. But as far as like horoscopes go, they never seem to really lock in for me.
Well, the thing that I'm learning is like, it's so open, just like anything, it's so open to interpretation. And each of us, like when we're born, our charts are basically the like map of the sky the moment you were born. Okay. So it's kind of like you're given this kind of imprint on the universe.
Yeah.
And the way planets, so astrologers who are saying these like big kind of wide sweeping horoscopes are pretty limited because how everything affects and interacts with your like blueprint of the universe is so specific to you.
Sure.
So I think the kind of horoscopes that you can listen to that's more about like what might be happening on the world stage or what's going on, you know, XYZ. But if you start to get really into it like I do, I'm on some Reddit threads and like, for example, the day the Pope died, people will do analyses of his chart the day he died and where the other planets are, like the transiting planets and how that's really interesting to me, almost like in hindsight for specific people. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I find it all fascinating. I'm well aware it is a huge waste of time, but it is an escape for me. And I think during this time when I've needed kind of a mental break, and I'm not that into like TV right now, or I don't know. I used to normally be like, I'm watching movies or Golden Girls reruns or something.
Yeah.
I'd rather kind of learn about this stuff. And I find it, I still take it all with a grain of salt. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do need to get back to like routine and structure.
You know what I was saying to you the other day, if you want to have some time in the studio, we can swap because I can work on my laptop inside.
I think we should do that because it is hard for me to be inside the house and get stuff done because I'm so good at finding things that need to be done around the house. And like the dishwasher needs to be unloaded. I'm like throwing laundry in and out and bringing it in and out. And, oh, I should dust. I mean, it's mostly cleaning things or like organizing or I should scan this stuff. You know, there's always noise.
Yeah.
That is one thing I miss. I love like the flexibility of working from home and all that. But the nice thing about going to a job was that stuff's all gone.
Yeah.
That noise.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yes. Can we talk about, well, actually, you know what I wanted to say? One quick last thing about Mahjong.
Yeah.
So in my Mahjong group, we've been playing probably about 8-9 months, I would say.
Okay.
And I mentioned that I was hoping to get a set for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And no one, people were like, you don't have a set? What?
Yeah.
But something I wanted to discuss about kind of the leaner financial times we've been in. And I know we are so blessed and fortunate. And like these lean times are still very, okay for us and relatively comfortable. But just like cutting back on these types of things that I would normally just buy myself without a second thought.
Sure.
Even giving the kids the tickets to France. And we had talked about it so much and been like, and then we like presented it to them at dinner as these cute little plane tickets you had printed out and their reactions. And there is something just really wonderful about waiting for the thing and tying a special connection to it and wanting it and I feel like 2 years ago, if we were booking France, we'd just be like, oh, I bought plane tickets to France, whatever. There was no buildup. There's I don't know. It's just nice. This kind of a silver lining to not being burdened with disposable income.
Yeah. Having a reverence for things, a little delayed gratification, maybe a little easier to be appreciative of things.
And so this Mahjong set that you bought me, which was so beautiful, it has gold koi fish etched into this like sapphire blue tiles, and it's just stunning. You know, Christmas, of course, you get excited, but now Christmas for me is mostly getting excited about the kids being excited.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is such a delight. Like, that's my favorite thing in the world, is seeing like the morning of.
Yeah.
But this was a gift that I thought I was going to get a set, but I thought it was just going to be a standard set, which I would have been happy with. I felt like a joy about this gift that I haven't felt, like, I can't remember the last time I felt that way.
That's amazing.
And it was like, I finally have it. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I know the hours and hours of joy I'm going to get out of it. And it was like a childlike feeling of, I have this. Now, those things are always fleeting, and you always think certain things are going to make your life better. But I hadn't experienced that in so long. I had almost forgotten what it felt like.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Go make some fudge.
Well, while you were, on your astrology tip, going down that rabbit hole, I did go down a crazy rabbit hole the other day of this guy that just like goes by Scientology centers and like yells at people in the lobby to like get out, and then they lock the doors anytime someone does that, so the people that are in there get locked in.
They get locked in?
Yeah, so imagine you went into the center just to be like, I wonder what this is about.
Well, and you're never to be seen again.
You're talking to like the person in there. Then when this guy shows up and he's like, hey, get out of there, it's a cult, someone has a button, so the doors just lock. Like, so the guy...
I don't know. Do we know that they're locked from the inside?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
Truly.
Right,
let's be authentic in our reporting.
Hopefully those people can walk right out.
Yes, that is such a different situation. Can I talk about something that... was it on Mother's Day or the day after Mother's Day? So the home I consider myself to have grown up in St. Louis, which I have tried multiple times to go visit, and multiple times was told no.
Like you've knocked on the door?
Yeah, you know this.
I don't remember this.
Okay, so the house I lived in from when I was 10 to 18 in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And my parents moved when I was 18 to California, and the house they lived in there, I like also feel a connection to, but for very different reasons.
Yeah,
but this is where I like grew up and have like family memories and best friendships and all of that stuff. And I'd say over the last like 20, probably 15 to 20 years, 2 or 3 times over the years, like when I would go back to St. Louis, I feel like the first time I went and knocked on the door and the person who was living there had little kids and was like, oh, my kids are sleeping.
Whoa.
Then I went back again, and I feel like it was like, didn't you come before?
Really?
And such a dick move. I mean, I don't know if I said like, this is really meaningful to me because my parents passed away, or like, I don't know. I probably didn't. I would imagine it's a weird thing to get into, especially to someone who seems... And also, the person's like body language was like blocking me from,
Well,
now,
it is kind of weird, especially in this day and age. Maybe 30, 40 years ago. But yeah, it seemed if someone came to our house now and said that, I'd be like, I need to see some receipts. I need to see a picture of you as a little kid. I would have a
conversation, but it's also like... It's me. Now, I don't mean to like profile someone, but I agree. I would be like, oh, that's so interesting. You know what? I'm not sure if now's a good time. Like, can I ask you a few questions? I'm just a little reticent to have kind of a stranger come in, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. And I understand people are private. We're actually very private. I don't like just random people coming to our door, obviously.
Yeah.
So I understand in some ways, but also just as a like person who
Yeah.
I also love that stuff. I mean, like being able, I don't know. I think it would be really neat if the kind of original owner's like granddaughter came here and was like, I spent my childhood in this home. Could I come inside and see it? So I never got to see it, which was fine. But because she was so like, get the fuck out.
This fucking lady.
I'm like, what is going on in that house? Like, what's it like? Is it really different? And I've been thinking about that. The way it was set up, it was an old house. It's beautiful, like so charming, but not the way homes today would be set up. Like it has this like little tiny kitchen in one corner of the house. It's just, I don't know, it's a different situation. Well, it's on the market.
Yeah.
And so after, 26 years, I got to see the inside of the house online, and it's so the same.
Yeah.
It is, it was shocking, and my childhood best friend sent it to me, and I open it up, and I'm like, first of all, I don't know why this is in both of their houses, but my mom's wallpaper is still there.
Yeah.
The kitchen is exactly the same. Like the fridge had this little like tray that you flip down and you can put juice on to pour your juice. I mean,
it's crazy. That fridge was still rocking.
The fridge is still rocking. There's been painting and stuff done, but it is in its core so the same.
Yeah.
And even like the way it's decorated is similar to how it was decorated back then.
Yeah.
And it really like, not surprisingly, I had a very emotional reaction to it.
Yeah.
Seeing it. You were like, should we move to St. Louis?
Should we buy that house? Yeah.
And the answer is no. It's not for us. That's for a different chapter of my life, but very cool to see. And I don't have any takeaways here. I'm just like wanted to share this.
It was interesting to see. I totally understand how emotional you got. It really pulled your heartstrings.
I wonder, like, obviously it's the emotion of my parents being there and like growing up, I don't know, like good memories.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious about how nostalgic am I without my dead parents? Like,
I think for something like the house, what's interesting is I've had a similar thing happen to me with my house in St. Louis, but not quite the same experience. For some reason, the house that I grew up has gone on the market like 5 times since I've lived there. I don't know if it's ghosts or something, but it's always for sale. And I actually did go to an open house one time when I was visiting, and I can't even like check into how that felt for me, but I don't think it was as crazy of an experience as I thought it would have been going into it. I think it was like kind of neat, like, oh, wow. But even thinking about it, it doesn't pull my heartstrings like I know that this does. I think in some ways this for you, had it been redone a lot and didn't look the same, I don't think it would have gotten you as it did, because you were freaking out about, there were green walls. How often do you see green walls? Like you were like, oh my God.
That's my mom's wallpaper.
It's the same.
Like, and there's this little den that has like very specific wallpaper that I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah, I think you're right. It does seem like it's frozen in time.
Yeah. And you don't have that many, it's not like people take those kind of real estate pictures of their house. Right. There's something special about that too, of where, wow, I get to see every single room taken well.
Right.
But yeah, that's wild. Did you save those, like take screenshots of those?
No,
just
I
to
should.
have?
That's a good idea.
You really should.
I should, so I can like study them. But it is, it also brought up something interesting, which is like memories being attached to a place or a smell. There's this specific smell of like soap that reminds me so strongly of my grandmother Bubba's house, but I lived in that house for 18 years. I went through puberty in that house. I have had so many amazing holidays and good times in that house.
Yeah.
I watched I think my parents' marriage was pretty rocky in that house. There was a long stretch of time where I was in that house alone because like my mom was traveling and my dad was gone.
It's so crazy to think that.
I fell like in love for the first time when I was living there. I did drugs and got drunk for the first time in that house.
Mm-hmm.
So many memories. But I don't really remember much about like day-to-day living in that house.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Well, no,
how we
because
compartmentalize.
The thing is also, and maybe this is just me, we don't remember anything really. You know, like if you really think how much we remember, it's almost nothing.
Like, are our kids going to remember? I mean, I know they already don't really remember, which I wouldn't expect them to. They were so tiny, our first house.
Mm-hmm.
But what are they going to remember of their childhoods now?
Right. It's really interesting. Like, can you name, well, I was going to say, could you name all of your teachers? That's interesting.
None.
But, and just to think all the different things you did in that house, you don't really remember any of it.
Yeah, I remember being with my dog and playing with my dog a lot. I remember like Christmases, mm-hmm. I have kind of these paintings frozen in time of like that, what we were up to.
Yeah, but those are easy paintings, right?
Right.
Because, Christmas, we would have a nice dinner and we would be in this room. So yes. I can see all of us sitting in there. And maybe there was that one crazy time that one thing happened that we've talked about for years and years. Mm-hmm. So that's easy to put in the painting.
Right.
But it is weird, like, we've talked about this before, too, of like, how real are our memories, too? What are we getting right? What are we getting wrong?
That's why, exactly. And I think, my sister and I always joke about how our memories can be so different. And we have no kind of judge to call it because the other people who are there are gone usually. So you just have to trust whatever your memory. But there are definitely times I'm like, was that right? Yeah. You question that. But I do think, it kind of speaks to the importance of trying to be present in your life. Like the Eckhart Tolle, he's not the only one who's saying this, but the all you have is this exact moment. Literally nothing else exists. Mm-hmm. And you can think about your future and plans. And I probably spend way more time in the future than I do the past. Mm-hmm. And I could definitely stand to pull some of that energy into just being here and now.
Yeah, I get that.
But we're all working, toiling away to climb the ladder to what?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I think contentedness is something that we all have access to if we are able to quiet our mind and not believe our thoughts. And that kind of contented, peaceful feeling of, oh, I'm here right now. I'm talking to my husband. Mm-hmm. We get to do this. This is my present moment and my reality.
Yeah.
Is something we can all drop into if we're aware enough to do it.
Right.
But happiness, I think, is a different feeling, and it's celebrate it when it comes along. Mm-hmm. For me, for example, Mother's Day, I felt this real sense of happiness, but it was because it was this extraordinary day where I was being catered to, and all of my earthly wants and desires were being answered to.
But that doesn't always mean that you can sit into that moment. There's plenty of birthdays I can think I've had where maybe I was had too much anxiety and didn't enjoy it how I should.
Well, that's because I think you're either processing something from the past or the future, right? It's very rare that our current literally physical moment, I talk about this with our kids, if they're having issues, with anxiety or something like that. Well, get a book, cozy up and think to yourself, I'm cozy right now with my blanket and my lovey or whatever, and I get to read this book and go to this imaginary place that I love or whatever it is. That's your present reality. Mm-hmm. And anything outside of that doesn't really truly matter.
Yeah.
It's harder as adults and we have responsibilities and stuff. You can't just live your life like you do have to kind of move forward through life in some ways.
Of course.
But I don't know. Sorry, this was a real tangent.
No, not at all. I was thinking, we were joking recently about, we could make an AI of us from our podcast. Like our kids could have an AI version of us eventually. Mm-hmm. But in that scenario, there's stuff on this podcast. There's probably stories we've told that if you ask the AI, hey, tell me that one story, the AI might be like, okay, let me try to get this right. But actually, all the data I have, the story is a little different each time.
Yes.
Like even in our record of history.
Well, this just happened.
There's stuff that's that discrepancies.
On our Patreon episode this month, I told a story that you pointed out on Patreon I've told many, many times.
Yeah.
Now, our patrons, who in many cases are longtime listeners.
Yeah.
The comments were like, I've never heard this story before.
Yeah.
Or I heard this story before, but I didn't know that it was XYZ, like at this place, or you were doing this thing, or there was like information added from the last version that they had heard.
Right.
So yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we already kind of exist that way because we are operating, telling these stories and stuff from an imperfect memory.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
what are we all doing?
The other thing, and this is too big of a tangent, but I am really starting to think, how are we not just like technology? Like,
yeah, we kind of are.
Why aren't we on Nobody's News? There's this amazing gene therapy story we learned of, but like DNA is like data, right?
I know. And like neural networks.
Aren't we just incredible computers? Like somebody could have made us.
Well, baby Jesus.
I don't think baby Jesus did it. His daddy did it.
His daddy. No, I think that we are kind of, similar in the way, though, that you look at, if you really bring awe into the picture, which to me, awe is so connected to what we're talking about being present. But like, look at a cucumber or pineapple or whatever. Okay. You need to, whatever neural network has connected pineapple to the lifestyle, you need to chop that neuron apart. Pineapples are a wonderful fruit.
Okay, well, you need to stop wearing clothes with an upside down pineapple pin on them.
So, and you look at it with awe, like this plant figured out, like all of these different trees and plants and whatever are figuring out how to make this specific, insane, delicious, gorgeous, weird thing. Everything's kind of coded in a very incredible way, and we're no different. It's like something coded us. It's probably evolution, but we also learned, and I'm such an idiot, of course this is true, our universe isn't going to last forever. And in fact, it might last a lot less long than we thought.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah.
Like humanity, that's, if you have the thought of course, there are other life forms similar-ish enough to us out there with brains or maybe we're such primitive models of whatever this is that like there are other places out there where the human tech is like so far beyond what we can even imagine. But when this universe goes bye-bye, like, is that it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Good night.
Good night.
Nobody's listening, right?